One thing that I really don't like about this KLX 230R is the automatic idle adjustment. And it was made to help newbies learn how to use the clutch with less effort, which totally makes sense. It raises the idle RPM so that it doesn't stall as easily. But that's a problem when you're trail riding and you're like me, you like to be at a lower to moderate RPM, and when you come into a corner, you're trying to slow down, the bike wants to keep accelerating if you're at a lower RPM, which is not only annoying, but it's frustrating and dangerous because it's easy to overshoot a corner because the bike keeps wanting to accelerate when you're trying to slow down. So what we're gonna do is remove this automatic idle adjustment on the throttle body of the fuel injection system and replace it with a manual one. Looks like they are security Torx bits. To get easy access at that, we'll have to take the tank off. So I took the side panels off. Gotta take the seat off. It's just a bunch of 8mm bolts, including this one here. And we'll have to take these two off, pull this strap off. Take these bolts off to make it a little bit easier. Pull this tank off, or at least move it out of the way so we can access that idle adjustment. I'm just going to remove these just to make it easier. Now it looks like I should be able to access these two screws right here. Ooh, that was pretty tight. Well, since I had previously messed up the head on this one, I ended up using some locking pliers. Came in from the top, clamped it really tight, and broke that loose. We got the cover off. Now, this should just pop right out. Yeah, there we go. So I think we need to leave this plugged in, otherwise it's going to set an engine code, the engine light will come on. So I'm going to have to figure out how to, I'll probably just tape it up, wrap it all up. Now we got this new one here, which I bought online from a website. Seems to be the only place making these. It's CNC machined. So it looks like you can see there's a slot here that this has to line up with. Otherwise, you just thread it in and out to adjust the idle, and then here's the locking nut once you get it set. Looks like the slot has to be facing roughly right there. I guess you gotta use a little bit of force to push it in. I don't know, it seems like the O-ring is a little bit thick. Hopefully this doesn't break on me. It's starting to go in. Alright, since I messed up the head on one of the security Torx bits, and I don't really like using them anyway, so I found a couple of screws from a car rebuild kit. They're Phillips head, which I don't like, but I guess it's better than the security bit. So the thread's a little bit longer, which is nice because this cover plate is thicker than the original one. So I'm just gonna stick these in there. Alright, now we can see if it works and adjust the idle. Got this 13mm wrench to lock it. Something seems off here. Oh, I'm thinking backwards. So I have this threaded all the way up, which I think is out, meaning that the throttle body, I'm guessing, is up and open, where on like a carb, you thread it out and it backs the screw out, which closes the throttle, where for this, I'm thinking if you screw it in, that'll lower the idle. Oh man. This is tight. Feels like it's gonna break. You know what? I am going to loosen these screws back up and see if I did something wrong. Alright, I pulled this back out and you can see right here where my thumbnail is that there's a nice burr there. I'm guessing I did that. I'm not sure if that's causing it to get hung up or what, but I'm just gonna take a file and just lightly file it down so that it's smooth. Doesn't need much since it's aluminum. I thought I had the slot in there right, but maybe I didn't. Let's try it again. Definitely got the slot lined up this time, and that O-ring, since it was so thick, it was hard to push in. I added a little bit of grease around the whole thing, and that enabled me to push it in. It kind of popped in a lot easier. So I'll put these screws back in. And if you like saving money and riding your bike more than working on it, okay, this seems a lot better now. I got everything tightened down, and this idle adjusting screw is free now. That is a good sign. So I'm gonna have it turned all the way in. Hopefully that idles properly now. Let's see. Yep. So it won't even idle now. I'm gonna back it out a little bit. Yeah, it still won't idle. Back it out some more. Turning it in to lower the idle. A little bit too low. Back it out a tiny bit. Probably gonna change a little bit as it warms up. I got it where I think I want. Got the 13mm wrench. Don't need it super tight. That's a little bit too high still. That's good. Time to go test ride it. Now, since doing this manual idle, I've noticed a tiny bit of fog right off of idle occasionally, with a tiny bit of backfiring as well. So I'm guessing it's because it's tuned pretty lean from the factory, and the lower idle makes that fog and backfire a little bit more noticeable because the throttle is closed all the way. Definitely doesn't have quite as much off-idle torque as the Honda. Gotta rev it up a little bit more. March in Minnesota, so the ground isn't completely thawed out yet. Nice idle. If you want to learn more about this KLX 230R, check out my review right here.